I call on Government Order of the Day numbers 1 to 3.
Privacy Information Sharing Bill, Committee Stage. International Finance Agreements Amendment Bill, Committee Stage. Environment Canterbury, Temporary Commissioners and Improved Water Management Amendment Bill, Committee Stage.
I declare the House in committee for consideration of the Privacy Information Sharing Bill, the International Finance Agreements Amendment Bill and the Environment Canterbury Temporary Commissioners and Improved Water Management Amendment Bill.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Chairman.
Honourable members, the House is in committee. Kia ora tātou no reire te whare, inga iwi, inga rio, inga hawe wha tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora. We are in committee on the Privacy Information Sharing Bill, the International Finance Agreements Amendment Bill, and the Environment Canterbury Temporary Commissioners and Improved Water Management Amendment Bill. Members, first of all, we are to consider the Privacy Information Sharing Bill, and in that respect, the question is that Part 1 stand part, and it is a debate on clauses 3 to 10 and the schedule. I call the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Chairman, this is a very, very important bill, and I regret the fact that the Minister in charge of the bill has not seen fit to take the chair in this particular debate. She is a Minister with expertise.
Point of order, the Honourable Member Tim McIndoe.
Draw attention to the absence of a member from the House.
Order, no, I don't know. The member did not draw attention to the absence of a member. Did not say the member was not here. Call the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Chairman, I regret the fact that the silly opposition whip just drew attention to something that we're not allowed to draw attention to. Well, no, he's not. He might be the government whip. But he'll be the opposition whip pretty soon. Pretty soon, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, the reason I regret that the Minister in charge of the bill is not in the chair is that she is the House's expert at breaching people's privacy. She is the Minister who has a lot of expertise at breaching privacy all over the place. Her record is appallingly bad, and, Mr. Speaker, no one knows that better than Nick Smith, who is currently sitting in the chair, because it was as a result of her breaches of privacy that he had a spell on the reserves bench. It was as a result of Judith Collins's breaches of privacy that he had a spell on that reserve bench. Mr. Speaker, Labor does believe in an effective and an efficient public sector. We do need to share information properly, but we've also got to make sure that we trust the people who are sharing that information. And, Mr. Speaker, at the moment, I see no indication whatsoever that the people of New Zealand trust Paula Bennett, who breaches beneficiaries' privacy deliberately, repeatedly, Mr. Chairman. They don't trust Stephen Joyce. They don't trust the Prime Minister. Hekia Parata breaches people's privacy all of the time, but Judith Collins, Mr. Chairman, is probably the worst of the lot. Mr. Speaker, it is fair to say that this bill takes a very piecemeal approach to this issue. and it may not stand the claims that have been made about the need for it. In particular, Mr Chairman, there is no sign whatsoever that it will do much to enhance the protection of vulnerable children. And, Mr Speaker, that's one of the very first questions that should be asked when people are considering this sort of legislation, as doctors are meant to do. First, do no harm. And there's no evidence yet that this bill does no harm. Mr Speaker, the government has a habit of doing very low quality cherry picking in this sort of area. It is an area that does need comprehensive reforms. Mr Speaker, one only needs to look at the OIA and their response to the reports on the OIA and their prioritisation of issues here to indicate to the House, to everyone, that they place a very low priority on the privacy of individuals' information. Mr Speaker, they cite the current fiscal environment as a reason not to do wholesale and proper reform, but, Mr Speaker, they cherry-pick, they pick the bits that they want. They actually pick the bits that will lead to less sharing of information and not more, Mr Speaker, and that's just not good enough. Mr Speaker, the government is in particular trying to hide a lot of information around how badly the economy is doing. Mr Speaker, what we do need to do is to have a comprehensive piece of legislation. Mr Speaker, in March last year it was revealed that the ACC had sent the private information of 6,748 people to Bromwell-Pulla. That's but one incident.
Mr Chairman.
The Honourable Ruth Dyson.
Mr Chairman, I was actually enjoying that contribution from the Honourable